everybody. I wanted to say, hold on, let me put this. I wanted to say what's up to everybody who's been here, and I also wanted to say what's up to everybody who's new here and welcome to the group. This is a wonderful place to be. You're in good hands, and we're all here for each other. I haven't been on the last few, but I wanted to tap in and say hi to everybody.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
And then Craig, I need to make you an admin.
Can you hear the background noise out here? Like,
no.
Okay, good. So my earphones are noise canceling too. I didn't know that.
So look at this thing, by the way. Look at
Yeah,
this thing
that
behind me.
noise canceling comes in handy.
Yeah. What are we looking at?
I don't know. I'm at a hotel. This weird guy is like sitting here. I don't know this guy's deal here. See him? Freaked me out when I walked in here. I was like, what the fuck is that? But I'm in so just so everyone knows, I'm in New Orleans for a coaching conference. So basically, Maddie just joined. Maddie's gonna I'm gonna check in with y'all real quick, and then Maddie's gonna tell her story. She's gonna take some questions. We're gonna talk about sobriety. Like I say, usually Wednesdays is like more of a self-development thing, but since we had someone cancel on Saturday, I figured why not have her jump in today. I've got a coaching conference, and I've got to go pick up like badges and shit. So I am going to say hi. I'm going to introduce her. She's going to take over, and then Craig's going to say goodbye to everyone and do that thing. Make sure we're good to go. All right, so let's jump around, man. Let's jump around. Let's see here, man. Jeremy Duffy, tell me something good, bro.
Yes, sir. I got a good. So I went back to some old workouts that I missed. Got a really good workout in yesterday. I think I need the new updates.
Okay.
But I'll talk to you about that through text.
Yeah.
I'll text.
The new workouts, like the new program I put together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll work on that. I'll make a note.
Good day at work too. Work went by smooth today. It flowed.
And how's your sobriety? Sobriety's always good.
Sobriety's great. Yep, sobriety's good.
Good shit.
And I just started a new book too. Actually, I think someone else in the group talked about it. The ruthless elimination of hurry. I think it was talked about. It's pretty good. I'm like halfway through it, but
all right. Well, I'll check it out. So let's bounce around. Richard, tell me something good, brother.
I'm sore as shit from my workout last night.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear.
And I mean, in a couple of days, it'll be 6 months now.
Good shit. That's good fucking shit, man.
Yes, sir.
That's good fucking shit. And then there was something I had to do for you. Oh, you know what? I thought about your core workout. I'm gonna get that knocked out. I gotta get that sent to you.
Okay.
So I'll get that done this week. Let's see who else we got. So we got a lot of new people here, so I'm not trying to pick on them yet because they're brand new. But let's get Halana. You got a second? Tell us something good.
Yeah, everything's great. I'm here visiting my family in South Carolina.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, everything's good. So I just got done talking to my son, and yeah, just living a good life. I did both my workouts today.
Yeah, because you had to make up one.
Yeah, I didn't do yesterday. I was trying to handle so much stuff, and then my body was like, my mind, my body, whatever. I was like, I need to just decompress for a little bit. So I did both of them today. So
yeah, take care of yourself. Recovery is important too. So you need a day off. You need a day off. So, and real quick, I want to say hi. We got some new people in the house. We got Sage. Is that how you pronounce your name? Is that right? Okay, just making sure. We got Michael. We got Sage. We got Jimmy. We got Nate. We got some. This is exciting, man. We got some fucking new people here. That's great shit. So Maddie is a young lady I met on Instagram. She's going to tell her story, and then take questions like we usually do. I'm going to hang out for a second, but then again, I have to dip to go get checked in for this conference. Again, if you need me for anything, I'm still available. I'm going to be here in New Orleans, but I'm available 24/7. So if anyone needs anything, text me, call me, whatever you need. Other than that, Maddie, you want to take it over?
Hey there, everyone.
Just a quick, you just want me to start like how my everything progressed and then what I do now to stay sober?
I would say just like kind of touch on like your struggles in the past and, you know, how you got to where you are today. You know, what things that might have worked for you, and you know, it's very casual. Whatever you got.
Okay.
Cool. So it's all you. All right, you're up.
Okay. Well, hi everyone. My name is Maddie. I am a little over 7 years sober. My sobriety date is in September 10th, 2018. Just a little, I don't like to dwell on the past. I feel like when you get sober, there's just a lot of shame there, and that's not who I am anymore. So I just kind of like to touch on the tops of everything and then bounce into where I am now, because I feel like this is the most exciting part of life, is, you know, being sober and being here with you all. So I grew up in Vermont. I was from a very small town. It was kind of like a really great childhood. I was really good at sports. I excelled in academics. And from the outside, it kind of looked like I was, you know, this perfect person. But, you know, my home life was traumatic and chaotic. My family, my parents were, my dad doesn't identify as an alcoholic, but I identify as a child of an alcoholic. So however that works. And my parents had this very like love-hate relationship, and it still goes on to this day because they're still married, they still live together, but it was pretty tumultuous growing up. When I was growing up in Vermont, there's not really much to do. There's the football games on the weekends and playing sports, but like there's not really much of anything else to do. So as I was growing up, we would spend a lot of time at my parents' friend's house, which kind of became like our second home. And our parents would just drink and hang out and play cards and then drive us drunk home. And that was what we did growing up. And that just seemed what it like everyone did, like what adults did to socialize and all of that. There were points in which my parents and our family members were too intoxicated at points, and they would let us children drive to the pizza shop to pick up pizzas because it was better for a 12 and 14-year-old to learn how to drive standard to pick up pizza than a drunk adult. So that's just kind of how it was when I was growing up. And then as I was getting older and spending more time with friends, I realized that that's not kind of how the structure of a family is. And my parents started drinking more. My mom started to detach. She wasn't really kind of protecting us children anymore. And my dad was just, he was all over the place. My house was very tense. You could tell, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but when you walk into a room, it's almost like you can sense what's going on without even having to say anything. It was always like that growing up. I would go home and I could tell by like what was cooking, what type of music was playing, where my parents were sitting, like how the night was going to go. So at an early age, I decided I'm never going to be like that. I'm going to do different, and I'm going to do better. And in dealing with all of those situations, I realized that no one really taught me. Well, now I realize that no one really taught me how to deal with the stresses and all of those things in life that your parents are supposed to guide you through, because they didn't even know how to do that. So I started restricting calories in the beginning of like 6th or 7th grade. And I had a pretty severe, or well, a severe eating disorder. And as I was moving through high school, people were starting to catch on. So I then kind of, my eating disorder turned from anorexia into bulimia, because I would want people to see me consuming food. So then I could go and play sports, because my parents had a rule in the house: if you didn't eat, then you didn't get to go play basketball. So I would eat what I had to and go to basketball and then just purge it. And no one really thought anything of it, because I was a very high performing athlete. I still was ranked in my state and did really well. And I excelled in academics. So everyone was like, well, you know, she can't be anorexic. She's performing at the level that she is. So, you know, everything must be okay. And then that being said, I moved on to college. I went to the University of Massachusetts Amherst. I got picked out of 100 kids in nationwide to start in a foundations course, which is like the beginning of architecture. It was really challenging to get into, and I was picked, I think, in the top 20. So I did really well. But at that point in time, I mean, I treated my body like a garbage can. Like I was running on fumes. My eating disorder wasn't doing what it was supposed to do for me anymore. But then I was introduced to drinking. And so that just kind of took over. And I realized, I was like, wow, my parents, this is why they all drank and socialized, because this is how adults must deal with these feelings that I'm having. So I just kept drinking. And then to pay for school, I started working in the hospitality industry. And, you know, I wasn't doing like hardcore drugs. I was just drinking. So like in my mind, it's legal, it's fine. You know, that's when you know you have a problem. And so I just drank, and I just kept drinking. And as life progressed on, I saw everyone kind of changing gears and getting married and having kids and not partying. And so I thought, well, when I do that, that's when my drinking will stop, because that's the next phase. And I got married, and it got worse. And I had my first child, and it got worse. I had really bad postpartum depression. I had my second child, and then the wheels just kind of came off. Being a military spouse, we were living in Savannah, and the culture of the military and the Rangers were just, you know, a lot of drinking, a lot of partying. And then moving here to North Carolina, I thought to myself, well, you know, we're moving. This is a fresh start. You know, everything's going to be fine. It was, you know, where I was. And, you know, the location change obviously didn't work, because that never works. But I found a fantastic therapist, and I started going to her and talking about things. I wasn't really ready to say I was an alcoholic. I went in, and she asked me what I wanted, like, out of therapy. And I told her I wanted to be the cat's pajamas again, because I had no idea what to say. And she was like, all right, cool. Well, let's figure out how we get you there. So I started going to therapy, and I realized I had a problem. I went into IOP. I made it a few weeks. I relapsed. I made it 30 days. I relapsed. And then I found myself at a 30-day program in Georgia. And going there was great. I probably didn't get the quality of care that I should have gotten, because I'm really good at pretending like everything is fine. And so they kind of triage there, and I kind of hid in the corner. But I did go there with an open heart, and I really wanted to change. And the greatest part that I got from that was that they would take us to AA meetings every Thursday and Saturday night. And I was terrified to go to AA, but it made me comfortable, and it made me willing to go when I returned home. And I became part of the AA culture here for about a year. And without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. But I got to this point where I was like, these people are fantastic. Like, I know what they eat for breakfast on Sundays. Like, I know them that well. It's like, but I can't spend the rest of my life in AA. Like, I fought this hard to live and to move and to like do things. So I, on a whim, joined a CrossFit gym just down the road. And once I got in the gym again, like growing up, I realized this was the only good coping mechanism I had as a child. And because of my drinking, it fell to the wayside. And I got back in the gym, and just getting in there and feeling like you're capable and strong, and that I'd never done CrossFit. I'd never done these things. I played basketball and field hockey and all of those things. I'd never moved a barbell around, or like a power clean or anything like that. And to realize that I'm capable of doing that, and learning new movements. And then for me, I'm a visual person. Like, you put in effort, you see a return. You don't put in effort, you're not going to see a return. So it was just like a really great way of making my recovery more tangible for me, and to continually move the bar up a notch and challenge myself. And it was a really great way for me to make a community. I, growing up, had a lot of friends. I just was never someone who loved going out or hanging with the girls, or I would rather go shoot hoops, or, you know, like play catch, or go fishing, fly fishing, but like none of my girlfriends liked doing that kind of stuff. So it was nice to get into an atmosphere where girls were doing that, and we were competing, and we were, you know, doing that type of stuff. And I am afraid of the awkward silence. And when you're lifting weights, it's cool. You know what I mean? Hey, I got to go do this. And it just was a really great way for me to like get into a community and meet new people and not be around alcohol, because that was the only way I knew how to socialize. So yeah, now that I am 7.5 years sober, I just had surgery, so I haven't been back in the gym. I've been out about 8 weeks, but I've been getting back into it. But just finding different things to do. Like there's always something, like you can always learn something. You can always challenge yourself to do something different. Once you get proficient at lifting and showing up and staying consistent and doing those things, and you see how your body changes, then you start thinking like, well, what if I eat some more protein? Or like, what if I cut this out? Or there's just always these things that you can do to take yourself to the next level. And it's just opened up so many wonderful opportunities for me. I mean, I'm competing for the cover of Muscle and Fitness right now in this like nationwide thing. And I'm probably not going to make it, it's a different round and I have to be in first place tomorrow. And, I'm in fourth right now, and the odds are I'm probably not going to make it to first place. But like, I found you guys and I get to sit here and have a conversation with you all. I did an interview, a podcast with the American Addiction Center the other day. And like, there's just such a cool opportunity where putting yourself out there in the fitness world and connecting with people, and then connecting with people in recovery and fitness. And when I first got sober, I didn't realize that there was just such this community of people like me. I just felt like I don't fit in with the people in Pinehurst, the older crowd, and like I don't fit in with the people who drink, and I'm not a girly girl. And I found the gym, and then I found all of this. So it's just such a wonderful thing. But yeah, that's a lot of it about me. I don't know if anyone has like any questions or things that they might be interested in. I'm more than happy to answer any.
So where are you located right now? Like, sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm in North Carolina right now.
Okay, all right. I heard you were in Savannah. That's where I'm at. So I was just
Oh, you're in Savannah.
curious.
My
Yeah.
husband was on
Yeah.
Hunter for about, I think we were there for 10 years.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I work right around there, Gulfstream, you know,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, we live in
So,
Pooler.
yep.
Fall
Yep.
Lake Way?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we
Yeah.
live there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I'm new to town here because I lived in Jacksonville, but, um, I'm in recovery here. I do the AA here, and, but anyways, what, I guess I don't have any real questions. I've listened to your story. I appreciate it. And, um, but, let's see, I'll come back to me for a second.
No, you're fine.
Sorry. I
No,
got
but what do
family in
you
the
do
background and
for,
everything. What's
no,
that?
you're fine. Like, where do you do for fitness, and like, where do you work out? What are things that you
So,
enjoy?
um, right now right now I'm just working out at Planet Fitness. But, really just trying to, to lose the weight after getting in sobriety. I gained weight, and, so I'm a year and 4 months in my sobriety, 2 years off of meth, and a year and a half off of crack. Anyways, well, I'm a year and 4 months off crack. So
Incredible.
yeah, yeah. But,
You're amazing.
I got sober in Jacksonville, but I moved to Savannah. I had the opportunity to work on aircraft because I was, homeless for a while. Anyways, so, now I'm here doing, living, rebuilding. And,
Yeah,
so I do the AA, uh, where's the place? The After Five group, 24-hour club, Eisenhower. I don't know if you're familiar with
yep, I know.
Eisenhower. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm there, and, but I go to the Planet Fitness across the street just for, right now. I'd like to expand my horizons as far as fitness. I used to do, oh my God, fitness training, when I lived in Jacksonville a long time ago. So,
Yeah,
but I never got to the point of competing, but I was always, uh, I was being trained as if I was going to compete, but I did it
yeah,
along, but I never made it to that point. But, now here right now I'm just focusing on my health, working out, building, staying sober, getting immersed into the program. But I'm finding too that since I'm working a lot on my health and stuff too, and my schedule and everything, I'm not going to AA as much,
Yeah.
as it, it's still around there, but not,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to really focus in on my health, eating more of the protein, like you said, fixing, trying new things out to see what's the next thing that's going to get me to that next level.
Yeah.
So, since I've been taking up protein, eating a lot more protein, um, bringing down, I mean, I still eat my fats and I brought down my carbs a little bit still,
Yep.
but bringing up that protein, I've been able to lift a lot heavier.
Yeah.
So, which has helped out tremendously. So, I guess that's where my step is too, is getting back into that fitness training again.
Yeah.
And plus I come out here, I play pickleball, like that's one thing that I picked
That's
up
all the
on.
rage around here.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Everyone. That's great.
Yeah, and
Um,
paddle
I
boarding,
noticed when I first got sober and when I got into the gym, I didn't realize that, like, especially with women, like I'm almost 40, and our hormones are
hmm
just all over the place. And I
Yep.
never really correlated the two of them and like being successful, like having
hmm
cravings and like the ups and the downs and all of that
hmm
stuff. And I was really having a hard time to the point where my husband was like, I think you're bipolar. And I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
But like I went and had like a hormone panel and once I've been able to like kind of clean up my diet was one of the biggest things. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Protein
hmm
is amazing for if you're having cravings.
hmm
So you don't do, I think I gained like 15 pounds when I got sober.
hmm
And it was because sweets, I would hide in the garage and eat ice cream all the time because it was
Yep.
like, that's just what I needed. And
hmm
I didn't realize that like that was what was causing the cravings to go even crazier. And then
hmm
trying to like substitute them out with protein, that really helped me
Yeah.
too. So that's amazing that you're doing that because that's going to be
hmm
really helpful.
Yeah. Is it cool if I follow you on Instagram?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
totally.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to do that. And yeah.
Yeah, if
Thank
you're
you.
ever in North Carolina, we're in like it's like Whispering Pines, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, the
Yep.
little triangle. If you're ever
Yeah.
in that area, send me a message and come work out with me sometime. It would be really, at my
That'd
gym
be
right now, there's like 4 other people haphazardly. We're all in recovery
okay.
and we kind of keep in on each other because I don't really go to AA anymore either. But
Yeah.
I've kind of found a group of people who are sober and we do like check-ins, we work out together and kind of do it
Okay.
that way. But I always try and keep my foot in the door at AA because when I first got sober, I didn't know where to go, what to do, who would hold me accountable. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of like I call it my parachute. You know what I mean? Like if there's ever a moment, like I know one place where no one's going to drink and someone's always going to be, and
Absolutely.
if I got to go. So you know, it, when I left AA, they made me feel like I was falling off of a cliff and I was going to die. And it was
Yeah.
terrifying. And I know they did it because they loved me and they were
Mhm.
concerned. But
Yeah.
it's like sometimes people need more. I think of it like supplementing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's great, it got me here, but this isn't gonna sustain me. I need to like add a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
I see that too as well, and I don't want to keep going to the past continuously. Like I want to keep excelling, bringing more. I don't want to keep dwelling on, yes,
yeah,
I have that remembrance. I have it right here. I get it. But at the same
yep,
point, I'm like, I don't want to keep digging for my past. I just want to
yeah,
keep, I want to keep building up for my future and keep trying to excel at and becoming the better version of myself. Um,
yeah,
but speaking of that, CrossFit, you talked about CrossFit. That's something that's been on my mind.
should.
Of getting into, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
totally. They do a lot of in my area, there's actually they do a Sunday CrossFit for people in recovery. And a lot of gyms
Mhm.
are starting to do that. I don't know if I would assume Savannah in that area. I mean, there's going to be a decent amount of CrossFit gyms. I wonder if there's one that does
I
that. And
should
it's
check it
usually
out.
the drop-ins are usually free too for like the recoveries or like donation based. So I don't know, give it a
Okay,
Google and see if there's anything like that.
okay.
What
And again, what
exactly
part of
is
North Carolina?
CrossFit?
Pardon?
What again? What
I'm
part of
sorry, I
North
didn't want to
Carolina?
interrupt. Oh,
I'm sorry.
One
Give
second.
me 1 second.
Yeah, no,
What
you're
part of North
fine.
Carolina? Right?
We're in like, it's like the Pines, Whispering Pines, Southern Pines, and then Pinehurst is like our little
Pinehurst.
area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Not too
Okay.
far from
All right.
where
I'll
you're
give it over
at,
to
like
him now.
5
No, I
hours.
just said, I'm sorry. I just said,
No,
what
you're fine.
exactly is CrossFit? Like, what does it entail exactly?
CrossFit's like a
It,
high intensity interval training. So it's I don't have a lot of time. I used to go to the gym and do my cardio and lift and do all of those things, but then I have children. My husband's in the
mm,
military. I run my own business. I went back to school, and it was like I have about an hour to get a good workout in. So it puts like everything together. So you're cycling the barbell, you're running, you're doing push-ups, pull-ups, all of that type of stuff. And it's usually done, they'll do like what's called an AMRAP, where it'll give
mm,
you like 15 minutes and you have like 4 movements, and you
to
cycle through
complete.
many as you can. And then they'll do somewhere it's like 10 of something, 20, 30, 40, and then you just try and get through it in that time. And they usually do like a strength component and then something that's more like a cardio based component. And you get like
And
a stretch and then both workouts and then a cool down and then you're out the door.
it actually sounds interesting.
And
And there's a coach involved, or is it like, does someone pick it up each week, like the volunteer to pick it up, or is there a set coach for you, or?
So it's a CrossFit gym. I go to something that's like CrossFit adjacent now. They just don't carry the affiliation name, but it's the same kind of thing. And
Mm,
so they have a coach on staff, which they'll teach you how to like move a barbell, make sure your form's good so you don't get hurt, and keep an eye on all that type of stuff. And when you're new, they'll help you. They do like scaled options. So like if you can't do a bar muscle up, then they'll give you an option of like a banded pull up or something like that to help you progress. I mean, when I first started, I couldn't even do a push up. So it was a long road, but you keep chipping away.
yeah. Pays off eventually. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's a good way to find like-minded people, and you're not drinking during a workout. It's a good way to have. I like people, but it's like sometimes life is just too peoply, and I just don't want to deal. So it's like I go and I have my time, my socialization time, and then bounce back, and it's nice because it's only an hour. You have human interaction, you get the endorphins, and then you're like, all right, see you tomorrow.
I actually have another question that I don't. So I feel like when I first got sober, I was trying to look for like these self help ways to improve myself, and I feel
Hmm.
like I tried to take on too many at once, so I didn't fully process any of them. I kind of just started out on a lot of. I'm trying to think of an example to give, and I feel like I still do it. That's why I brought it up. Um, like making sure to pray every day, like something. Well, that's not a good one. I'm trying to think. Like, um, I know I need to get better with working out, but for like this, when you first got sober and the self help stuff that is out there besides
Yeah.
AA, did you just learn to like figure out what worked best for you? How did you figure out what worked best for you? Did you have to
How
dabble for?
See, I'm one of those people, if there's too many options, I get too overwhelmed and I can't pick one. And I was in this place where like I didn't really even know myself enough to know what to look for. Like what self-help book do I need? I mean, I literally have almost lost everything. Like I need all of the self-help books. So I didn't even touch, like everyone's all about quit lit and all of that stuff. And I'm probably the worst example, but I was like, I, for my entire life, have just checked out and done what everyone told me to do and didn't do what I needed to do to be myself. And I'm not going to read a book about people telling me what I should be doing. Like I need to figure out who I am and like what makes me happy again and that type of stuff. And so the one thing that I hate journaling. Like I don't like I
Mhm.
feel like my mind goes like this enough that I don't want to like try and write it all down. But I started out just doing like really long walks. Just really long walks and just letting my I call them squirrels, just run around like crazy. And then by the end of the walk, and then I started running when I could. I had like an idea of one thing or three, and I would pick one and then like try and move forward with that. And then once I started figuring out who I was and like what I wanted in life, then I started looking for other things like going back to school and that type of stuff. So I don't know, it's just such a journey. I feel like we've all kind of, or well, personally me, like I couldn't deal with my life and who and what was going on. And so like drinking was that way of like dealing with that and almost like detaching. So making, even as a child, like um my eating disorder, that was what I detached with to make everything else around me just kind of feel okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you lose yourself in that. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just taking the time to get to know yourself again, which is scary. But I
The
mean,
walks sound good, actually. That sounds like a good start to try to
yeah,
get some directive.
if you're
I feel like
outside,
I'm narrowing it down. I just feel like, and especially net like with the way society is now, it's like there's so much thrown at you. Like anywhere you go, it's like even a TV show. There's 1,000 TV shows out. Like it's not like you have like, hey, here's the options. Pick from these four. So like
yeah,
it's overwhelming
too
sometimes.
much.
So.
That's when you got to do like those catch. I know everyone has to listen to music, but we live in my area. I live around like a bunch of lakes and stuff. And I felt that same way for a long time. And so I would go and without headphones or music or anything, and I would just walk and like crazy, but like listen to the birds and like
Yeah, no.
listen to the wind and like people talking and like and kind of have like a detox almost from just
Mhm.
media and all of that type of stuff. And it was like because I'm not someone who likes to meditate. I can't sit still long enough. I can't like, and then I get frustrated that I'm not doing it right, and I should be. Maybe people, and then it's
Mm.
pointless. So just like going on walks and like trying to identify sounds or like what a tree is, and like trying to get my focus back. That's kind of how I started out, like the meditation process.
No, yeah, that helps. That puts some things into perspective. I appreciate it.
Yeah. How long have you been in the gym for? You just getting into it, or is it you coming back to it?
Yeah, I no, I never like I played sports all in. So I'm in my late 20s. I played sports all through high school. Like I was into basketball, soccer. I ran track. Um, but I never really went to the gym. I would skip workouts. Like I was not into it at all. And then actually through the program, I kind of started going more. I had a membership before the program, but I'd go like once every couple months.
Yeah.
Um, but building a routine and like him actually listed, that's another thing. Like I didn't know what I was like. I would go. I was like, do I want to work on my legs today, chest? Like I don't know,
A lot.
indecisive about that as well.
Yeah.
So, but as soon as like having that predisposed workout that, and you accomplish that, it's a lot easier for me to have like that layout. And so
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been in gym past like 3 months, I'd say. So
That's
it's
good. That's
still early.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, most of it is just being consistent. I know 90, I mean, I'm at that place now too, where like I've been out of the gym. I've been, since I got sober, in the gym 6 days a week, watching what I've been eating, really trying to get in shape and like competing and stuff like that. And then I went back to school this fall and I knew my gym schedule was going to fall off and I was at like 3 days, 4 days a week. And then I had surgery and it was 8 weeks ago and I should be back in the gym, but like I'm in school too. And it's like even me who knows and like no and loves the gym and sees the results and stuff, like getting back into it, it's been such a challenge for me too. Like it's just so I think it's the you just gotta like, even though you don't want to go and you have all these other things, like just put your shoes on and like just get out the
Mhm.
door. My new theory is that when I drop my kids off from school, if I'm fully in my gym clothes and I have my gym bag, then I can just go right
Going
from
right
there.
there.
No
Yeah,
excuses.
I was actually gonna start putting out my gym clothes in the morning and trying to hit the gym before work, but I haven't gotten around to actually putting an outfit out yet. So And the other
Yeah.
day I set my alarm for, because I start work at like 7. I set my alarm for 4:30. I woke up, I was ready, and I just didn't. I was like, tomorrow.
Yeah,
Just went back
right.
to sleep.
That's how it goes. Where are you like in a, I'm from the north originally. Are you like in the winter months or you have like a more warm
No,
climate?
yeah, I'm from Jersey.
Okay, there
So
you go. It's so hard in the winter and it's so dark. You go to
yeah,
work or school and it's
it's dark
dark
at
and then you
five
get home and
o'clock.
it's, yeah. It's so
Mm.
hard. I feel like in the summer I'm just so much more, even when spring comes around, like I'm just so much more like, oh, let's do this. And then it
Yeah.
gets cold and I'm like, ugh.
I I played hockey a lot back in the day too, and um I recently just got like a craving for playing hockey again. I don't know what, it just kicked in out of nowhere, and I spontaneously went to Dick's and bought rollerblades and a stick. So I've
You
been,
should be.
yeah, I've been skating around, but I'm trying to find somewhere. I want to find like a hockey league or like a men's league or something.
There's gotta
That'd be
be, I
cool.
mean, north, totally in Jersey. There has to be
Yeah,
something.
I'm sure there's got to be something. Just got to look into it.
Yeah, you
But
should.
yeah,
I went through a fitness funk a while back, and now I'm like, when I was younger, I loved jumping rope. You're probably too young, but up north they did this thing called Jump Rope for Heart, and it was like this big campaign they did.
I
The
feel like
huh?
sounds familiar.
Yeah, and like
American Heart
my town,
Association.
huh?
The American Heart Association.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Jump
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
heart.
AJ.
Yes, and
I
I
think
just
I've
kept throwing
actually
it down,
done
and
that
I won
before.
every year. And so recently, I've gotten really into jump roping. I followed this girl. I'm sure you guys, Lauren Jumps, and she does it all the dancing to the jump roping and stuff. I watched her, and I was like, I could do that. So I bought a jump rope, and for like a year and a half now, I've been just like trying to figure out how. It's a lot harder than it looks. But it's like the
For now,
same thing
they
with the skating. It's like you find something that you loved, and it's just it's movement. You know what I mean? It's just exercise. Everyone's like, I have to be in a gym. I have to do this, but like it's like sobriety. It's something that you enjoy, and you're going to be able to sustain for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So you got to figure out how to make it move with you instead of like constantly forcing it. And
yeah.
movement in some form is the best medicine. So that's awesome. You got skates and I'm jumping rope like a 12-year-old. It's good for us.
Yeah, nah, it's like it's a mix of a couple. It brings out a couple different things because it's like nostalgic because it reminds me of like simpler times before I even knew about drugs or alcohol or um and it's like freeing in a way too. It's
Yeah.
like to get out there, and I mean it's been snowing a lot out here, so I should have probably
Yeah.
got ice skates instead of
Right.
rollerblades. But
That's cool though. Do you have like a group
yeah,
of friends you can go like skate with and stuff like that?
I recently moved, so I lived in South. I still live in South Jersey. I live in like a rural part now. I was in like suburban. I'm
Mm-hmm.
about 40 minutes from where I was, and um, I don't really know anyone out here. And
Yeah.
most of the friends I had back home, sad to
Yeah.
say, a lot of my friends passed or just
Yeah.
aren't people that I would be around.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm trying. I'm trying. It's weird trying to make friends too. It's hard to make friends.
all right. I had to learn how to remake friends when I was 32, and everyone's military around here, and they all drink like crazy. And I was like,
That's,
wait, like, what do I do? And so that's been
yeah,
like
that's
really good for me. So you finding a skating league might be really great. I mean,
yeah, and that's
make some friends or
anything. And I've been wanting because there's a lot where I live now. They do like a lot of shows. There's like a theater where they had like a Ozzy Remembrance Fest the other night,
yeah,
and I want to go and check it out. But I've heard a lot about like the way it's a party town from what I've heard, and I know I could control myself. I just don't know. I would want to find a group to go to that setting with before
yeah.
I wouldn't want to just go. Something I do want to try doing solo though is I would like to start solo vacations. I know that I want build character that way. It's
No,
kind of
that's like,
scary, but
yeah, that's a dream. I have two young boys, and then anytime we go anywhere, it's like just being a parent in a more difficult atmosphere because you don't have all of your things. And I was like the other day, I'm like, man, if I could just go on a vacation by myself, that would be amazing. Like, okay,
yeah,
it's like,
no, it's that I've asked a lot of people about it because this was another thing. Like within the last week, it just randomly came about. I'm like,
yeah,
I kind of want to see how this, have people's opinions on this and see if it's something I really want to do. But I think it would be good. I think it builds
yeah,
character.
yeah. I mean, give it a shot.
And yeah, especially before, I don't have any kids right now, and I'm single, so now's probably the best time to do it.
Yeah, go on an adventure.
Hmm.
Jimmy, you got anything?
Yeah, I was gonna my name's Jimmy. Yeah, I just wanted to say this is like my first meeting. I just found out about this whole thing. I just wanted to say thanks for coming on here, sharing your story. Yeah, it's definitely motivational. I was in like a really controlling marriage for a while. I didn't have social media for 11 years. So I just now like made an Instagram account because I'm in rehab at the VA.
Yeah.
And so I found like this whole thing. I didn't really even know there was like people doing fitness with sobriety
Yeah.
and that. And I'm like, because I either go like I'm either like using like hardcore like uh I'm a heroin addict and meth addict, man, coke, but or then when I get clean, like these little short periods of time, like I go like the other way and I'm like exercising like crazy and I like go
Yeah.
nuts, but I always relapse. Like I
Yeah.
really don't have a lot of clean time anytime. It's always one way or the other. So uh hearing that you got into the when you got into the fitness part, was it AA and going to the meetings that really like helped you to stay clean? Because I know it's like like the physical, mental, spiritual, like and if you go too far like on the one side you forget about the other ones and then I end up
Yeah.
relapse. So is that what it was, like going to meetings that kept you clean while you were working out and stuff?
For me, I think it helped, just because I didn't have a community and that I didn't really know anyone who didn't drink. But I really feel having them as, like I say, my parachute if I ever need, and I speak with people and I know people still who go to AA all the time. But for me, I found a really great therapist. I actually, when I first got sober, I went the 30-day program. I did therapy twice a week. And then I went to a meeting every day for the first 6 months. And then I started going to 3 meetings a week, therapy twice a week, until it was like almost at a year. And then I was at my year being like, there's no way. I would sit in the AA meetings and like I literally knew when the next person was going to speak. Like they've all been
Yeah,
together for so long, and it's
yeah,
like an older golf tennis crew, and I was the youngest by like 30 years and one of three girls that went to those meetings. And it's like I was like, and she's going to speak, and she's going to say,
yeah,
oh, I don't mean to double dip, but I have something more to add. And like because that's what I
yeah.
do. Because growing up, everything was so traumatic. I create systems and I learn behaviors, and like so. In my mind, I was like Fantasia, and I was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I was looking for like a new sense of community because like they were great, and I not outgrew. I just needed a different space, and that's when I started going to CrossFit, and they kind of became my community. And then by working out, and kind of like when he was saying with the skates and everything, like I was an athlete and I did sports and I played basketball, and like that was what kept me structured, like AA was supposed to. But what
Sobriety.
I think was the guidance of like how to deal with emotions, how to like do all of these things. And so then I stuck with therapy, and I still go. It's been 7.5 years, and I go once a week, and I've had the same therapist. And so with both of those together, I feel like I've been successful. I don't think one without the other, I would stay.
Yeah.
You need that. You need the mind, body, and soul. And like what you're saying, like you go hard into one thing, and then you
Yeah.
really, and I'm the same way. When I first got sober, we bought a house in Whispering Pines and on the water, leaves everywhere. We had a hurricane, and I couldn't get to my 30-day program. We had to hunker down because there were trees down and stuff. And I was literally like, I need to do something or I'm gonna like drink. Like I need to.
Yeah.
So I went to Ace and I bought a rake, and I raked our whole yard for like, I think it was 3 or 4 days, like a headlamp on. I broke 4 rakes and kept going back to Ace. And I was,
Oh
you know,
my
the
God.
feeling of
Yes. That's like
frantic. Like I
the
had
addict,
to.
like
Yeah. Because it was like I was replacing drinking with that. And I
yeah,
just remember that. And but now I feel like it's like I supplement, you know what I mean? Like one makes the other one work. And
it's more
if I
balanced.
yeah, and you have to find that balance, because otherwise, like if you don't deal with the root of what is causing you to want to escape, and why you feel a certain way, then like it's always going to become something different. I mean, I was anorexic,
Yeah.
I was bulimic, I started drinking, and then if I lived out in Lake Tahoe for a while, and I mean, drugs are prevalent. I mean, you go to a party and they're just like everywhere, and
Yeah.
because there all these people from Southern California come up and they just are vacationing and whatever. And I remember when I was in Tahoe, I was like, if I don't get out of here, like that's gonna happen. And part of my solution was moving back to my hometown in Vermont, because everyone just drank there, you know. And I was like, well, at least this is
Yeah.
so. It would have been, if I stayed, it would have been more. And
Yep.
that's just what happens. It's we drink because we're trying to like help our, you know what I mean, like almost like medicate ourselves to deal with these
Yeah.
situations. And like
Well,
we need to.
I know I need to get into the therapist. Because right now I'm doing like a lot of classes and I've been like that, but and I've had psychiatrists through the VA, like, you know, where I go like once a month or whatever. And it's not really, once they kind of peg you down, it's like you're not getting too deep into it. It's like a check-in. So I mean, they have a PTSD program here too and stuff,
Yeah,
but I think I like you the therapist part, and
yeah,
I think the I'm meeting every day for 6 months is wow. That's I
yeah,
think that I need to do that though. Like the meeting 90 and 90, like as
yeah,
crazy as it sounds to me, I think I'm just telling myself after, you know, I've been using for 25 years. I'm always like, oh,
yeah,
that sounds too hard. But I think that's what I need to do. Like the everyday meeting for like 6 months and the therapist. And
yeah.
I think that would balance me out more.
You got to think of it too. I always think of things as in like cardio, which is weird to me. It's like you get on the treadmill or wherever you're going, and you're like, oh, I have to run for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Oh gosh. But you hit that 15 minutes and you're like, damn, I feel good. Like I'm going to go for another 10. And so you do 10, and then you're like, I'm on fire. I'm gonna go, you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of how
Oh,
it goes. It's like you first go into it and you're like, ah, 90 and 90. But then you get there and you're thinking clearer, and you're like socializing, and you're people, you're having things in common. You have a place you have to be every day at a certain time, and they expect you to be clean and they expect you to be sober.
yeah,
Accountability, you
that's
know?
what I need is accountability. Like
Yeah.
that's
And
why I got this, you know, group and I need this because I need the accountability and like I've been so like secluded and cut
yeah,
myself off. I haven't had friends or social media. It's just been me and my two, you know, daughters who are my best friends, but I put too much on them. You know what I mean? Like they're not supposed to be like my best friends. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so I gotta find this social thing. But I really appreciate you coming out and talking and everything. And yeah,
yeah.
and I hope that we get the cover or the whatever for the fitness magazine. Yeah, root for you.
I don't think it's gonna happen. It's gonna send up some prayers. But the thing is that because there's a nonprofit in this area called the Shields and Stripes, and it helps a lot of the guys from where my husband works in the soft community. And so if I win, you win $20,000, and so if I win that, I'm gonna donate it to them. But it's cool too because it's like you get so much more of like a reach when you do this competition, and so I've been really lucky to like be able to promote them and like get them out there and get more people to know about them. So like it would be lovely if I won. I mean this is my third time trying with them. So it would be amazing, but like I feel like a lot of times you put your eye on like I have to win this, and a lot of people like miss out on all of the wins leading up to that point.
Yeah, that's a good
If I didn't do the
perspective.
competition, I wouldn't be sitting here chatting with you all tonight. So like that's freaking cool. So it's little things.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll let somebody else talk.
Yeah. Hey, you're doing awesome. You got this.
Can we follow you? Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just asking if we can follow her.
Yeah, you're welcome to. I'm just on Instagram. It's Swole Sober.
Okay. I think he sent it. I'm gonna look and see if he sent it.
I think he put me in his story. I didn't get a chance. I got home from work and then jumped on here, so I haven't had a chance to look, but it did pop up. I think I'm in his story.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, no worries.
Anybody got any more questions for Maddie or would like to say anything?
Yeah, I have a question, and I wanted to say something to the kid. I'm Phyllis, by the way. So about CrossFit, a few years back, I got into really good shape. I was even bigger than I am now. And it was some 6-week course that they were talking about, for women, get in shape. It was like a 5 a.m. thing, 3 times a week. And to the guy that was asking about that, you will feel so strong after just like a month of doing it. And I'm telling you, your whole body will change. It was awesome. Even if you're not too, like, I'm strong, that's why I did it. But even if you're not too strong, like, there is something about the community of people, and you're all pushing, you're all doing, like, it really, I'm not a huge gym person, but CrossFit, if you want to get into something and feel community, that would be my vote. And then my second thing, I was going to ask you, thank you for talking about protein combating sugar cravings for hormones. What other hormonal things can you recommend? But then let me ask this too, or say this really quick too, because I'm going to forget. So put a pin in that. Something that in recovery and in talking to a lot of friends, like, I noticed that we all kind of, like, when we retell things, no one talks about this, and this works for me. That's why I want to share it. Like, we can say, yes, this is my story. This was my childhood. This is why I'm fucked up, or whatever you want to say. Right. But I feel like no one talks about, like, when you retell that to every person, like, you can retell it in a way that, my childhood was what it was. In this situation, obviously tell us the details. But I feel like we have to tell everything. My dad was this, my mom was that, and your body doesn't know time. So when you retell it, you're almost like re-traumatizing and bringing it back in. Like, I remember I would talk about it and then I would go drink because I was all worked up about it. So I feel like there's a tool that maybe we could all use, that is, if I want to talk about it to someone, I don't have to tell them everything, because then it's going to bring it back up to me. Right. So it's like, I can say and retell my story as, yes, my mom it was tough growing up with my mom, but that experience led me to where I am, and I'm learning how to love myself. And I'm, like you said, like, you didn't learn life skills, right? Like, I'm 45 years old and I'm having to teach myself how to sit with an emotion, like things like that. So it's like, I now retell it. Yes, my mom was difficult growing up, but it made me stronger now because I'm learning on my own how to do this. You can just retell it. And I think that's like a trick for anybody that's struggling, like, to sit and say, I did this and I did that, and this is who I am. You're not that person anymore. As long as you decide, it's like a mind hack that I don't think anybody ever talks about. Even in therapy, they never talked about it. So I would just want to say that. But then the protein for the sugar cravings, and also the weight gain after you get sober, dude, I've put on 40 pounds in 6 months. And I'm like, what else have you been doing to regulate your hormones, girl? That's what I need to know. Besides hormone replacement therapy, because I'm not doing that.
So when I first got sober, I was super underweight, and so I had gained weight, but it was not. I mean, I was heavier than I am now, and it was all fat and water weight, and I mean that's it. It is what it is. The way that I mean, stay hydrated, drinking water. Don't If you're drinking a lot of water though, you don't want to flush your system out. You want to make sure you're having like your salts and maybe some BCAAs,
Yeah.
because if you're the complete opposite, you're going to feel crummy, and you don't want to feel that way. Protein's really good. I really started looking at what I was eating. I started taking out refined sugars and super complex carbohydrates and stuff like that, and trying to stay not in the paleo realm, but like close to just as natural as possible in that sense. But I got into CrossFit, and I see food more now as like fuel of like, hey, I have this competition. This is my goal. So like I eat carbs. I eat peanut butter, almond butter, all of those things, because like I want to achieve a goal, and my mind is a machine, and that's how I kind of deal with like the eating disorder aspect of gaining weight and getting bigger and stuff like that. But then once I had cleaned up, and sleep is super important, and people don't understand, like sleep is huge with hormonal balance, and keeping your stress hormones lower. Yeah, staying hydrated, protein, sleep, not restricting carbohydrates, but not going crazy with them. Movement is so important. If you eat and you have time, go out for a 15-minute walk. That's going to make you balance your blood sugar. Looking at food on your nutrition labels, they put sugar in everything. Try and look for no sugar added. And if it is sugar added, try and look at like, try and keep it around like 2 grams or so, or lower. Because they sneak sugar. I mean, even if you look at your spaghetti sauce, like it's like 12 grams of added sugar, and it's like, why, and you looking for stuff like that. And then I did a full hormone panel, and saw that, and you don't want to do hormone replacement. I personally do. I don't try and like optimize in any sense, but my testosterone was at like 18, I think it was. And the range is usually between like an 18-year-old, and they do it to like a 94-year-old is the range. And so like I was still within range, but like my range was closer to that of like a 94-year-old. So I do hormone replacement, testosterone, and I also take progesterone, which is important with your sleep. It was helping me with anxiety and all of that type of stuff. And I try and keep my testosterone level around like 60-ish, 65. Some people who are will optimize up to like 150, I think is where they cap women nowadays. But I mean, in my mind, that's like people going to the CrossFit Games, their type deal. And it's like, I don't want my body to feel like I got to a point where like I couldn't even like crawl around on the floor with my children without being in like constant pain. So like that's just kind of I was quality of life. And when I first went on it, I gained weight because your body's going to think that you're really hungry. You're going to start storing water. But then that's when I really hunkered down on my nutrition, and knew that I was going to gain water weight. And then by eating clean, going to the gym, and doing the right thing, around like 6 to 9 months, I started to go and body recomp and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what cleaning up your diet,
That's good.
movement, good sleep, staying hydrated, managing your stress, and all of that fun stuff. But I don't know,
Thank
being
you.
a lady is great because
I
it goes
appreciate
like
that.
every 28 days. So when you got it, it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and the whole trick about the talking about, I've been starting to do that too, because I with this competition, I've been doing a lot of interviews, and I was just talking to my husband last night about this, where it's like I feel like I'm in this funk. You know what I mean? Because it's you go on and you talk on these podcasts and stuff, and they want to hear. Everyone wants to hear about how terrible we were. You know what I mean? Because they want, oh, look how terrible, but now look at her. And a lot of mine, and a reason why I kind of stepped back from AA was I felt like a lot of times it was almost like a contest of like who was the worst. You know what I mean? Like of like, oh, well, I had it worse. I had it worse, and I hated that feeling. And so I kind of like stepped back, and then doing this comp and doing all the podcasts, I was like, oh, like I'm feeling that again. And so when you said that, I was like, girl,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I
And
think
like,
it's like, military, how the military, they talk about their war stories and their military stories. I think for addicts, we talk about our childhood or why we were an addict and what we did. And like that retelling, like there is a whole thing. I don't know what the name of the book is right now, but to retell your story, it's like when you're reprogramming your brain to like, I'm doing great today. Movement is medicine, like all these things that were affirmations. When we're talking about our past, like I think we really should, because I notice it all the time. Anytime you talk to somebody, like you're saying an AA meeting, which I've never been, but I'm sure it's, this was my childhood, this is what I did. Like you're almost programming yourself to stay. Well, yes, that is part of your story, but who you are today is, yes, that was my childhood, but who I am today, I'm stronger because of those things. Like that's how I tell myself. I wouldn't be the person I am today if my mother wasn't a narcissist, like that's what I think about. So, like, I don't feel like anybody ever talks about that. And I just want to put it in because I've listened to some of these videos previously to today, and I notice everyone is telling it. I'm like, man, if somebody could just have a light bulb and say, I'm not going to say that's who I am because that's not who I am anymore. It's what caused me to be in this position I'm in now, but you just grow every day. You're a little better.
Yeah, and I see that too because like my parents, my parents from where they came, they did better. You know what I mean? That was their better. And then like I became everything I said I wasn't going to be, but now because of that, I have two young boys and like I get to be the next generation of doing better and like having honest conversations with them, talking about their emotions and like if I don't think I would be able to do that or like know how to do that if I didn't spend all this time in therapy and not know what missing out on that was like. And so like you're right, you know what I mean? Like it gives you, and that's part of like staying sober and long-term sobriety is like it's knowing that you can do better and like and constantly trying to build yourself up so then you get to a point where it's like now we can sit and have these conversations and like what you say to me helps me and hopefully what I say to you helps you and then we trudge along and into our future not and leaving all that behind. So yeah, I appreciate that.
1,000,000%. Real quick, because you just said something that reminded me. I was talking to one of my girlfriends and I was like, you know what? We're doing so much better than our parents did because like my son went off to Ohio to college and he was able to be completely honest with me and say, Mom, I don't want you to come up for open house. It's not about you. I'm already anxious. It's not about you. Dad's going to be there and I don't even want dad there. And I said, that's fine, baby. If you would feel more comfortable and less anxious without me there, it does not hurt my feeling. Yeah, I'd love to come, but it's about you. And if you're going to be better, I could never tell my parents that. Even today, I can never tell my parents that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're breaking the cycles, like you said, of honest conversation. Be your authentic self with me, and I accept you. It's not you have to think this way, like how we were all probably raised. Like it's got to be this way, and you have to be perfect, and you're not allowed to have the opinion, and seen and not heard, and all of that. So yeah, good for you. I've got two boys too. And I feel like I did something right with them because they are authentic with me, like where I couldn't be with my family. So right. If had I not been raised that way, maybe my kids wouldn't have that feeling of comfort and safety with me.
Yeah, that's so good. You sound like a great mom. I'm really excited for you. That's so cool.
There were a few years when I was drunk. There were a few years when I was drunk during my divorce, and I have regrets from that. But at the same time, like I've been out of it for a while now, and they're great. They're great kids. Totally.
Yeah. I always tell my kids like they make mistakes and like I never felt like I had a safe place to make mistakes. Like I thought I had to be perfect all the time because otherwise everything would implode. And like for my kids to be able to make a mistake and be okay with it and like laugh and joke with me. And then for me to be able to like make a mistake with my kids and be able to say, hey, I'm learning. This is my first time being a mom. We're not perfect. Like that's cool. You know what I mean? Like and like you had those struggles and you're owning it and it's not defining you, but like and you're moving through and like and you have a good relationship where you can have those conversations with your kids and that just speaks volumes about truly learning from your past and evolving and like moving forward into the future. It's really cool.
Yeah. And, growing up in a house where I thought everything was great, I never saw conflict. My parents, I never saw positive conflict resolution. They just kept everything, so right, me messing up and having to apologize to my kids and, losing my temper. And, when they were younger, they were only 2 years apart. So 2 teenage boys, get ready, by the way. I would lose my patience with them because they're brothers and and I would just have to come back later and say, look, I shouldn't have fallen off the handle like that. That was on me. And really to be able to I just never got that from my parents. They were never. And so, right, we're rebuilding and we're breaking those old cycles. So hopefully we have kids that don't feel like we did, and do still.